Well, we have a problem in Tel Aviv. The problem is that the world has finally, after many years, discovered the best kept secret in the gay world. That in the Middle East, where you're the least expected, will be a really alive and kicking gay destination. And we were part of this campaign promoting Tel Aviv and telling this secret because we felt that people doesn't know what's going on here and how great it is to be in this cosmopolitan city. And this year we had more than 100,000 people marching in the streets because we march. It's not only the floats going. And we had 25,000 tourists coming from all over the world. It was an amazing event. We finished our parade in a huge beach party. So you can imagine that it's a great event. And it's not only a festival, it's also a demonstration for our rights and equality, and it's the biggest event when the state of Israel is seeing the gay community. We had most of the parliament parties' chairs coming to speak to the LGBT community, and that's the first time, and that was a huge thing for the community. I think that we cannot compare Israel to the area because we are very different in one fact, because we are a democratic country, and so it wouldn't be fair to compare Israel to our neighbors in the Middle East, because our rights as LGBT community or other minorities is very different. I'm proud to say that I can compare Israel to the States. We are in many, many ways more advanced than the States. We have a law unallowing discrimination in workplaces from 2004. I was shocked to discover that most of the states in the state still discriminate on sexual orientation and gender identity. We can serve in the army from 1994. So we are much advanced than most of the countries in the world. We are on the top 10. So we can be proud of that. And I wish that all the countries in the area will become as liberal and free, because this is the right of every human being in the world. It doesn't matter where you live, if it's the Middle East, the States, or Europe, or Africa. Yeah, I know. I'm known as the head pink washer in Israel.
So maybe for us to define what pinkwashing is, and then tell us how it has affected the Israeli LGBT community within Israel.
Just to understand pinkwashing is a movement saying that the only reason that we are going and telling the world about it's actually that the state of Israel is using the gay community in order to let the world forget the fact that we are occupying Palestine. This is the exact term of what's pinkwashing. And I have two things to say about that. First, to give the credit to our Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister sitting in a room saying, oh, we have a great idea, let's go and get the gay community and send them to the world and they will show Israel. It's too much credit. And on the other hand, to accept that we as Israelis would live all our life with only one angle of the Israeli-Palestine conflict, it's something that it's unrational. Why should we do that? Why does citizens of the states can go to the Supreme Court when you are fighting in Afghanistan? You should only deal with that. How dare you go to ask for marriage equality? How can the Europeans do it? Most of the people that are against the fact that we are going abroad and telling for the first time ever, I was in the States, I was in San Francisco just recently, and it was the first time that people can hear about Israel and not on the Israeli-Palestine conflict. And yes, I'm going abroad and I'm proudly saying, yes, Israel is not a saint. We do mistakes. We are occupying Palestine, but it doesn't mean that we as an LGBT community shouldn't fight for our rights. We have our life to live. I'm also proud to say that we as an NGO are the only ones helping gay Palestinians. Although we are Israelis, it doesn't matter because we are first an NGO for human rights and LGBT rights, and if someone needs our help, we do it. So to blame us for trying to help the state of Israel to avoid occupation or any other thing, I think that it's not realistic. It's propaganda, and I'm always saying to the ones who spending lots of efforts and money on this Pink Ocean movement just to get 1% of what they're doing to help the gays in the Palestinian authorities, that will make much more difference than what they're doing.
Can you tell us a little bit about the news that you've just been aware of and how you think that may affect the community here in Israel?
That's great news. Yeah, we see first this new era of a globalization made us. I think that the community or the minority that it affected the most is the LGBT community, because we became one united community all over, and we use our knowledge and our connections to help one another to achieve equality. And I can tell for a fact that we as the Aguda helped the US Army when we sent to change the don't ask, don't tell policy, when we send them testimonials and things for what happened to the IDF when they accepted LGBT people. And we are very glad we had just a minor part of that. And to hear now that the Supreme Court in the States just canceled DOMA and accept equality for LGBT people. I was just interviewed to the news and I said, yes, Israel should learn from our big sister in the States and do the same. There is no doubt that President Obama's administration policy of equality is influencing the entire world. We can see it, we are talking about it, all the communities, and it's a new area. Look what happened in France and England and Ireland, and of course all the Scandinavians and South Africa and Brazil, and we hope that soon Israel will join this festival of marriage equality.